Yeah, a very good morning to my dear students. In this video, we'll be discussing about work environment under the subject industrial engineering in textile and clothing industry. See why the environment is important when we are in our regular job. That is what it is. The important factors. We look at the factors. See, building design and age of the building is first factor. Workplace layout of machineries, layout of tools. This is what is workplace layout. Workstation setup. Workstation setup. That is also most important. It's one of the factors. Then any furnitures or equipment used, the design of the furnitures. In Japan, if you see, they give utmost importance to the design of equipment and furnitures, and they keep safety as their first target when they are making this. And then only the comfort level. That is what they do. Now, then finally the quality, then the space provided for work. That's also quite important. Then the temperature of the place. To in my viewpoint, temperature is the most important for me, and ventilation in this in the place of work. That is the stale air or contaminated air going out, and the fresh air coming inside. Then finally, lighting. Lighting very important when you're doing minute level jobs is more, and also sometimes more lighting, more electricity consumption comes. So that also is more important. Finally, noise. So noise is another important factor, and then vibration where we are working, and radiation and air quality. The last three not as important. Now we'll discuss, according to me, the first most important factor in my personal view is the noise. Uh, Noise is an element of work environment. You cannot stop noise. Whatever type of work you do, there will be at least some amount of noise. What is noise is unpleasant sound. The unofficial definition is, I'll show you in another slide. Noise is unpleasant sound. Sound is pleasant, it is pleasant. So unwanted sound that interferes with function in a given space. That is what noise is. Then it has an important role in affecting employee productivity. Why we say so much is more noise, lesser production. It is subjective because what is disturbing and unacceptable to one may be acceptable to another. One thing I can tell you here, today youngsters, they all have this, they listen to lot of music, especially you go in, travel in transport buses and all that. Lot of videos are playing and noise and all that. To be very frank, as you grow in age, that becomes a big irritant. This is one thing which is disturbing in today's environment. Anyway, we are talking about where you are working. Then it doesn't have a clear definition. A irritating noise. For some it will be irritating, for some it will be pleasant. Generally, noise is a disturbing sound, regardless of its intensity or duration. The human ear is able to hear 1 decibel to 130 decibels. So noise is measured in decibels. Okay. Next. The acceptable level of noise in a working environment is 35 decibels to 80 decibels. That is 1000 hertz to 2000 hertz, depending on environment individual works. Now, what is too much noise? Such as sound from equipment or tools or people conversation may prevent workers concentrating on their jobs. Consequently, lower production takes place. Its impact on the human body is expanded circulatory strain, hearing loss, and expanded heart rate and stress. This is very important. Noise. And what is the acceptable level? Noise rating above 80 decibels produce psychological effects, and any long exposure at above 90 to 100 decibel will produce permanent damage to a person's hearing. This is quite, you could have seen labor working 40, 50 years back when there was no noise controlling procedures in industry and all that. They used to get deaf actually after 10 years, one of the years. An increase in 10 decibels is doubling the loudness with respect to human ear. This is the problem. Just 10 decibels is enough to get double the sound of noise. Then let us take in a textile industry the different sections. The spinning and weaving industry, what is an acceptable level? They have done studies for 15 years. Ahmedabad Industrial Textile Research Association, an organization and wing of the Ministry of Textiles, New Delhi, and their noise study of 15 years and whatever they brought out in this chart is accepted all over the world. Blue room 80 to 83 decibels, carding area 84 to 89, draw frame 84 to 88, interframes, what we call simplex now, 82 to 86, ring frames where the actual yarn is produced 86 to 90, winding 82 to 86, that is the post pinning, warping in a weaving shed 80 to 86, sizing 73 to 86, and you will be surprised to know in a textile industry, the different areas, the maximum noise comes from the loom shed. That is the weaving area. Non-automatic looms 94 to 99, auto looms 95 to 97. And here you can see the earplugs given to the operators, supervisors, and all that. Here I can tell you one thing is the modern earplugs, 80% of the external noise is reduced when you wear a earplug without any damage to the ear and constantly you wear on for 8 hours. It doesn't have any damage. That is a modern one. Right. Then next we'll come to lighting. Next we'll come to lighting. Light is a power source from sun, lamp or some other object and the wavelength varies in spectrum between 380 to 780. But the normal human eye can see a wavelength of 400 to 700. But essential provisions we can just take in the workplace. And the North American Society for Lighting have given definition radiant energy that is capable of exciting the retina and producing a visual sensation. Yeah, as I was saying, today buildings, natural light must come in, a certain percentage of light, otherwise your license for building will not be approved. So this is one thing even in planning stage, now in local level, that is panchayats, municipalities also, that it has come into law. Artificial light, that is what we'll be discussing, and especially in garment factories. Yeah, let us discuss about the measurement index for light. It is the basic parameters luminous flux, luminous intensity, illuminous, and luminous. So this is what is measured all over the world. Let us see what is luminous flux. Luminous flux describes the quantity of light emitted by a light source. So you can see the pictures here. Now, specific area you want light, right side is the best. Like in libraries you find out, or I can say in garment industry where you have the sewing machine where the needle eye is very small and the thread has to go through the needle eye, and those areas it is important that you have sufficient light for a normal eye. So that extra light is put in the sewing area alone. You have 100 machines. Accordingly, the electricity charges as per for lighting in sewing area is always more compared to other areas. Example is on the right hand side photograph. This is what it is. Then work environment, light levels, you want lesser light accordingly and more light. It all depends on the equipment you are using and what type of job you are doing. So example I gave you for this one. Yes. Thank you very much. We'll discuss in another meeting. Thank you.